No, you can't have a child right now because you're pregnant with purpose. I'll never forget the day the Lord spoke those words to me. It was the most challenging time of my life. Just got married, living a life as a newlywed. Here I am thinking I'm pregnant, and I wasn't. I went to the doctor and they found growth. It was fibroids. 7 of them to be exact. Grapefruit size. So I said, okay, now what? This is where I am, now what? And I remember my doctor telling me, we got to get them out. You got to have surgery. Because if you do get pregnant and we don't remove them, then it could kill the baby. And then you are at higher risk for having a hysterectomy and not being able to carry children at all. So I instantly got afraid because I knew I had to call my husband and tell him. I just given my life to this man, and there's nothing more that he wants than a son. Here I am in a position where I am at risk for not giving him that gift. I was terrified to tell him, but I did. And he was very understanding, very loving and supportive. So now here comes the next step, surgery. I go in to have my surgery, a myomectomy. Everything went great. No issues, no complications whatsoever. Up to the date of my surgery, I was extremely emotional. I was extremely stressed out. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be around anyone. I didn't even want my husband to touch me, because if he touched me and we had sex and I got pregnant, I could have a hysterectomy. That's all I could think about. So we got through that, have the surgery, I come out, everything's fine, physically, but not so mentally. I begin my healing process. I learned that there are multiple stages of recovery. If you have physical pain, that's one thing. But based on what you're going through, there's an emotional level that the doctor can't give you a prescription for. There's nothing that the doctor can say or do to change how you feel. So I began to listen to the word even more than what I was, reading my Bible as well, started to get more confident and feel better about my situation. I had a season of blame where I blamed myself. I was mad at myself for having those fibroids and having to have that surgery. Then Lord told me, there's nothing you could have did differently. There was nothing wrong with this process. He said, I know you had a plan, but I have a strategy. So I said, okay, Lord, what? He said, they're hungry. My response, who? Who's hungry? He said, my daughters. And I said, okay, what you telling me for? I'm in my feelings. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm going through what I'm going through. I have no desire whatsoever to pour into anybody else. I wanted someone to pour into me. And he kept telling me, they're hungry. And then little by little, woman after woman, I began to get these messages on social media. These messages telling me about how something I've said or done has impacted their lives. And I've received those before over the years, but for some reason, they were way more intense. Suicide type of letters and notes. And I would begin to pray for these women. And then I would hear God say, they're hungry. So I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, I need you to feed them. And I was like, well, okay, what do I know? What do I know how to do? How can I do this? And I began to think, and then it hit me. He said, you're going to do a call every Monday. Just bring the women together and say what I tell you. So I said, okay. Instantly got so nervous. Didn't want to do it. I was afraid because I knew he wanted me to share his word. And I had never preached his word before, ever. I didn't go to Bible college. I didn't study under a pastor anywhere. I never been a part of a ministry that led me in that direction, or that I even signed up to be led in that direction. So what am I going to say? And he began to show me person after person in the Word of God who, just like me, was afraid to go out and do what he's called me to do. One example he gave me was with Moses. He wanted Moses to go out and free the Israelites, similar to him wanting me to go and feed these women. And Moses had excuse after excuse after excuse of what he couldn't do, what qualifications he didn't have, how good he wasn't. And time after time after time, God gave him the answer. Showed him miracle after miracle after miracle, right there with him, of what he can do. Turned a staff into a snake and the snake back into a staff. Put leprosy on his hand and then took it away. Moses still complained, Lord, I don't know what to do. Then he said, you know what? If you don't think they're going to listen to you, if you don't have the courage to talk, I'll raise up your brother Aaron. He'll speak for you. I'll tell him what to say. You perform these miracles I've showed you, and together y'all will make it happen. So I said, okay, wherever I'm lacking, the Lord knows. And he's going to bring the people in to make it happen. So I set the date for the Straight Talk Woman Talk. And I got instantly stage fright. I was sitting at home, and I remember my husband looking at me crazy. Like, what you nervous for? Like, this is what you do. I'd worked in corporate America before. I've spoken to audiences all around the world, high school students, college students, business professionals, domestically and internationally. I'm a professional speaker. This is what I do. Why am I scared to talk? Because I knew it was more than that. Deep inside, I knew it was bigger than just a call. So I posted it in December. And I posted the date, and I posted Straight Talk Woman Talk. But I did not put a phone number. And that was on purpose, because I was afraid. I gave myself a cop-out. Well, if they did see it, at least they won't dial in. So if it flops, I won't be responsible. So many crazy things that I did. So many crazy things. And I remember my husband telling me, honey, this is what we teach. This is who we are. This is what we are about. Go do what you know to do. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Mr. Motivational Moment. I don't want that moment right now. I want to be in my feelings. He said, you can't afford to. This isn't about you anymore. God is giving you an assignment. You need to go make it happen. So the first day of the call, January 5th, 8:00 p.m., 2015. I was so nervous. Oh, I was so nervous. I couldn't eat. I was in and out of the restroom the whole day. My husband's laughing at me, sending me text messages of pictures and screenshots of reminders of the work that I've done in the past, and you know how this isn't anything new. This is what you do. So we did our first call that day. Once I got the first one out, I was able to breathe. Like, finally, it's done. Yay, I don't have to do anymore. God was like, no, it's much bigger than that. Every Monday, we've come together since then. And we've had so many women grace us with their presence on the platform. Women who have shared, who have spoken, who have sold their gifts and talents through the phone lines and have imparted and impacted the lives of every listener who is dialed in. I have been inspired by every single one of them. And so 9 months after Straight Talk Woman Talk was birthed, he got me pregnant again with more purpose. And I said, okay, Lord, you're giving me child after child after child. And this one was an actual event. He said, I need you to bring the women together. January will be 1 year since you stepped out on faith and you followed what I said to do, and you've done well, daughter. I need you to bring them together. So on January 16th, 2016, right here in Houston, Texas, we're having what's called the Straight Talk Woman Talk Intensive. The reason why I'm calling it an intensive is because it's not your typical conference. It's going to be an extreme degree of impartation and transformation. We're going to have some of the most powerful women in business, life, and ministry in attendance. If you've been plugged into the platform, you've heard from every woman that has been on. You know they're strong, you know they're powerful, and they're going to be there as well to serve as impart partners, to be leveraged in whatever capacity God calls them to. You see, this event is not about me whatsoever. It's never been about me. This is to do the work, to complete the assignment that God has given me. And as I've taught before in our series, The Principles of Purpose, your purpose is in people, and your people's purpose is in you. There's someone already pre-assigned to you to assist you in your journey. And there's someone that you are assigned to assist them as well. And that's what we've been doing. The word of God and getting fed with it is similar to just one beggar telling another beggar where they found the bread. That's all it is. And so I'm excited to be partnered with these women. You know, when I went through the surgery and when I thought it was a child, I was devastated, I was hurt, I was emotional, I was upset. There were so many things that flowed through my body, but I never doubted God. I may have pushed back. I may have threw a tantrum or a fit, as any child does with a parent, but I maintained my obedience and I did what he told me to do. And I began to heal. I began to heal physically, I began to heal emotionally, and more importantly, I grew spiritually. I grew closer to him because there was no one else I could call, no one else I can lean on outside of him to see this through. And so I just want to share with you ladies today, especially those of you who've been plugged into the platform. There's been a lot that has gone on in this world, and there's been a lot that has been going on in your lives. I read your emails, I get your letters all the time. And I want you to understand something. You're pregnant with purpose. There is purpose inside of you that is designed to change this world, because you were not built to conform to the world. We were all built to transform it. We are daughters of the King, not a king, the King. It is our birthright to prosper. It is our birthright to be successful. It is our birthright to be successful in everything that we do. There is nothing in this world that can stop you from executing the assignment that God is giving you. Nothing and no one but you. If you're ready to surround yourself with women who are on a mission to do God's will for their life, to finally release the baggage, to throw out the trash and throw out the feelings and the things that keep them held down, to throw out those bad relationships, to transition to that next level. If your life has been good and you're ready for your life to be great, then you need to be at this intensive. If you find yourself in a situation where everyone around you is always negative and skeptical and mean and rude, you need this intensive. If your family members are fighting, you're not getting along, and it's always some drama, mess, and frustration, you need this intensive. If you are tired of using your body to get men to like you, love you, and pay attention to you, you need this intensive. If you are tired of turning tricks and turning flips for people who don't even like you and care about you just so you can pay a bill or get ahead, you need this intensive. If you're sick and tired of sitting in a cubicle every single day, day in and day out, doing work you don't like, hanging around people you don't like and that doesn't like you, you're there, you're miserable, you're not happy, you deserve to be at this intensive. Ladies, let me tell you something. This has nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with God. This is his work. This is his event. This is his plan. The doors have been opening left and right. The favor is everywhere as it relates to this event. Why? Because he wants to make sure all 333 of you are there. I remember when he gave me that number, I was in the shower and he said, clear as day, 333. And that feeling I got when he told me to launch Straight Talk Woman Talk was the same feeling I got then. But instead of allowing that fear to consume me, those feelings to consume me, I didn't fight back. I said, okay, yeah, that's what it's going to be, Lord. Let's go. Let's make it happen. You know, I was pumping myself up, and he's been showing up. The women are showing up. The tickets are moving. People are coming. Flights are being booked. Hotels are being reserved. It's not even happening. It's happened already in the spirit. What shows up, what manifests on January 16th is going to be nothing short than amazing. Ladies, join me. I want to see you. I want to meet you. We've been connected on social media. We've been connected through this call. I want to connect with you in person. Thank you so much for everything, for the support, for the love, for respecting God's work through the Straight Talk Woman Talk platform. Not even through me, through his platform. It's all him, every bit of it. I didn't do this myself. I couldn't have. He did it all. He's doing it all. Misty Early, thank you. Keisha Wilson, thank you. Andrea Haynes, thank you. Christy Johnson, thank you. Aaron Wooten, thank you. Faressa Patton, thank you. Desiree Jabbar, thank you. Samara Shelton, thank you. Tiffany DeWalt, thank you. Estrelita Bruce, thank you. Sarissa Tate, thank you. Ashley Cotter, thank you. There's so many more women. I want you to know, I thank you. This platform wouldn't be what it is if you didn't show the love and support that you have. This wouldn't be happening. The event wouldn't be taking place. Nothing would be happening the way that it has been had you not said, you know what? I want to participate in whatever capacity you have. From commenting, from sharing, Leslie Ortega, I see all this, like there's so many people who participate every single day in everything that we do. Joyce Shepard, Doris Rivers, gosh, there's so many women who have said, Benita Kirkpatrick, Grace Sandals, thank you. Thank you for dialing in every Monday. Thank you for texting and sharing with friends. My mom, Leslie, Keisha's mom, Jackie. You know it's good when mamas are getting involved. That says a lot. My cousins, my friends, everybody who's participated in any capacity. Thank you so much for everything. For trusting God, for believing in Him, for wanting to do and be what He's called you to. For saying yourself, you know what? I'm going to do this work that He's called me to do. Holly Noonan, Belinda Chapman, all of you ladies doing amazing things, walking out your purpose. Martha Hudson, living that life. Angela Cruikshank, that you've always wanted to live. Taria Avant, Andrea Blackley. I could literally go on. Lady Darylyn Johnson. There's so many women. So many. LaTanya Walker. Lady Lee. Ricardo. RGN. There's so many women. So many. I didn't know you all 11 months ago. Half of you I didn't know. Have never talked to, or maybe just saw in passing, but there was really no relationship there. And to see what God has done and will continue to do throughout this process and this journey, gosh, I just say thank you. My prayer for you is that God blesses you abundantly. Is that everything that's hindering you and stopping you from doing His will for your life, it's crushed today. It's canceled by fire. Every demonic attack sent against you. I want to thank my sister, Alicia Tottenham, for teaching me about warfare. Gosh, never even thought about that before. Been in church my whole life, never heard it. I've been warring ever since. There's so many. I pray that He blesses you beyond your wildest dreams and imagination, just as His word says. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man what God has in store for those who love Him. If you commit your works to the Lord, your plans will be established. If you get nothing else from anything that I've ever said, done, posted on social media, any video I've ever shared, any call I've ever done, or even the intensive itself, if you get nothing else, get that. Get the fact that your life matters. Get the fact that there's nothing inside of you that is weak. There is nothing inside of you that is small. Everything is big. You are full of confidence. You are a tenacious woman of God. You are obedient to His will. You can be led as well as lead others. There's purpose inside of you. Go do it. Go be it. And go have it today. Stop playing with this thing. Stop procrastinating. What are you waiting for? Credentials? You waiting for somebody else to pat you on your back and tell you you're qualified? Well, guess what? It ain't happening. It'll never happen that way. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You know where, you know when. It's all inside of you. You know why? Because God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Every single thing that you are destined to do, you are qualified to do as well. When man puts a period, God puts a comma. When man puts a question mark, God puts an exclamation mark. Like, yes, that's my child. Join us, ladies. It's going to be a fantastic experience. I can't put it into words because I don't have them yet. They haven't been created. StraightTalkWomanTalk.com. Join us. My name is Porshea Wilkins. I'm the founder. I'm God's daughter. I'm a kingdom ambassador. And I am one of the 333.